Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Boda speaking, and a warm welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. There might become a wet welcome, but for now it's been teetering. I've been told that it's going to rain later today, and my source is one of the students that I talked to who apparently sells lottery tickets in order to save up for college. So that's so we'll see. Because that's one change that I've had this week, is that I've been doing one-to-one sessions with a few of the students. So I guess boring work talk first then. Well, actually, one thing I'll say first of all. If you notice that my throat's a bit dry, I have tried to have some water, but it's oh my goodness, now it's sunny. Now I'm gonna get too hot in the full coat. That's great. But you know what? I'm gonna pause. I can't deal with it like this. Okay, I'm not making this up. The second that I paused the camera, it started to drizzle again. So I'm just gonna keep the coat on for now. I'll stick to the shade, and I'll stick to downhills because, like I said, my throat is extremely dry today, and that's because of D&D. As it turns out, playing a bard with a character voice that already is quite something on the vocals, and performing 3 separate songs takes it out of you, as I've discovered. But yes, in case people didn't know, a new episode of Quest of the Breathing Moon came out, and that's the book 2 of Quest of the Rising Sun. So just season 2, whatever you want to call it. So that's on KW's channel. I believe that she's going to make it into one collective VOD, because we had issues with streaming. Well, actually I had issues. One time it was because my charger cable was not fully plugged in, so the entire computer just shut down immediately, including the streaming and my access to her entire channel. And afterwards, there was an issue with importing one of the images. It was a design, and that caused the entire program to crash whenever I selected it. And that's that happened. I realized afterwards why that was the case. It happened because I accidentally imported it wrong. So I think I used an image with a browser link or something like that, and every time it didn't process it. So, but the problem is that if I try to hover over it and delete it, it stopped responding again. So I don't know how to get rid of that now. We shall have to see. Maybe we just have to scrap the setup entirely and then make a new one for afterwards. I think that might be it. Oh, is this the park I was told about? I was recommended a park by one of the welding students today, actually. I don't think it was this one, actually. I think it was further down, or maybe not, because it's supposed to be the longest park of its kind in a big area. I don't know. Maybe I found a secret entrance just randomly, because I said I was going to check it out. I didn't necessarily mean, today or right now, but here we are. And quite frankly, I'm relieved that we're not going further and further downhill, because obviously I have to eventually retrace my steps, which I'm fine doing when I'm not talking at the same time. But yeah, who knows? But anyway, Quest of the Breathing Moon still happened, and we still got through the episode. We had a couple of people who had to leave early, so we couldn't do the actual plan that we set out to do. But that just means that we've been able to do a bit more setup, and actually some other stuff happened too. I am concerned at the moment that we've got to Oh no, I have been here. I have been here before. I've been to this exact spot. So yes, I do recognize this place. In fact, I filmed Walking Wednesday here the first time, didn't I? Well, not the first time, the second time. That's first time since I actually properly moved here. I don't know. Says you can't. It says that if it says vehicles can't pass, except for property owners. I think I'll stay clear of that just in case. I'm not a vehicle, but I'm not sure what the doesn't look like a footpath to me, basically. I'll check it out some other time when I'm not filming. That will usually go down a bit better, you know. Here I am with the selfie stick enacting Japan's worst nightmare. If people don't know, in Japan they've actually been doing like workplace safety tests against YouTubers. So they actually have somebody running around with a selfie stick trying to act as rambunctious as possible, and they're training the workers to deal with somebody coming in and just and like vlogging and being obnoxious, because it's such a huge thing to do that nowadays. So yeah, I'm not sure if that was because of the Logan Paul series, because people forget it was a whole series that he did, or if that was just, you know, if that was already a thing that was happening. I don't actually know. So I know also, I remember that a few years ago, Jordi Wild, who was a Spanish YouTuber, he actually I think he went to Korea, and was also a little bit naughty, a little bit obnoxious, I think, in his vlogging style, and people started to compare him to Logan Paul, and he got mad because he's talking about how dare you compare him to somebody who like filmed a body and that kind of thing. But the filming the body thing was only part of it. I think he missed the point at the time, that they weren't comparing him to that specific portion. But of course nowadays it's a whole huge thing that people do, and that's why it's a workplace training over there, which is thoroughly depressing for sure. People just don't seem to learn, do they? Oh, there's a more public footpath there that I can go down, I think. Yeah, I think this is the better way to head in that direction. It's for non-vehicles, so that'll be good too. So yeah, anyway, boring work talk stuff now. Yeah, like I said, there's a difference this week where I'm still on the procedure of who's like one teacher before I was supposed to, but everyone's adapted now. So I got this week's schedule on Thursday, and actually I've got next week's schedule. I got that yesterday. So the coordinator, the one who had I was supposed to get the second week anyway, and had to make the change to plans. Yeah, she's actually been she's actually gone ahead and made sure very early on now that I'm prepared. So yeah, the what was I gonna say? Yeah, so the difference this week with this teacher is that some classes, actually when I say some classes, one class that I had twice, I've taken to like this outside, not outside, but like in the hallway table that you can use, and I've asked them like one-to-one questions, just very simple stuff, like 5 minutes each. Because it's one-to-one, it's a bit different to what we did in the in the welding groups all the time. What I do in the groups all the time, because that's 15 minutes with groups of 2 or 3, which I guess ultimately is the same, mathematically speaking. But of course, you factor in that, one person will speak more than others and yada, yada, yada. So you never know. But yeah, that was the difference, and that was just with the older class. Not that I couldn't do it with the younger class, actually, but yeah, with those, there was a bit of a miscommunication on my part with the teacher, because I never got the chance, because of I had the older class first, and the one-to-ones. I did a quick introduction, like a summary of the presentation I normally had, and then moved on. So that's what she kind of thought that I had prepared. So every time, so I did a short presentation, as in like a short introduction, twice before I clocked onto the fact that not everyone was going to do that. So I then defaulted back to my usual plan, which is, either if I have 2 lessons with the group, I'll do first lesson introducing myself, and then second lesson either writing a song or a script, because that's what people tend to focus on, is my videos. I got people still to this day, like, even like a few minutes ago, somebody like came up to me and told me to subscribe to my channel. So hello to that person if you're here. Well, you're probably in class right now. I mean, like, when you see the video. But yeah, so if I have one lesson, then usually it's slightly shorter introduction, get through the questions, and then maybe at the end a little bit of script writing or songwriting or something. It depends. Like, each teacher is different. Like, this one asked me if there was was one that I had with captions. So instead of showing them like People Above or Mutant Girl, I showed them Alphawatch Academy, for example, and obviously depending on which songs, as I'm scrolling down, people take interest in different ones. There's also like one that I think is like catch-up class or something that they do, that I also got, and that's a much smaller group as well. But also the one that in theory requires the most practice, so it kind of evens out a bit. So yeah, this week was this week that is a different experience, because it's still going. I've got one more day of this routine, and then afterwards, do it all again. I almost sang that and I forgot. Oh wait, I'm on vocal rest, or supposedly. Here I am vlogging, but can't be helped. At least not in this particular instance. And I will. My plan today is I'm going to do some shopping after this, and I'm going to take that back to the place, and then after that, while I'm there, do the upload, because the internet's fast enough, and then go back to teach the rest of the afternoon classes. Because yes, this week I still have afternoon classes, but the coordinator, as of next week, has made sure that all of the hours that I have are in the morning. Again, when I say morning or afternoon, what I mean is before 10 past 1, because that's when their midday thing is. I explained that last week. So yeah, other than that, the welding class still haven't had their oh so awaited grammar lesson, because they got like an order from I think it was the town hall or the town council or something, where they want some Christmas trees made, or well, a Christmas tree made, I guess. So it's all hands on deck for them. So that makes sense. Because of that, we've been going over like more debates. I think oh wait, no, I didn't mention this last time. The welding teacher said that see if I can get them to argue amongst themselves. And I've been trying, but most of the time it's either an argument with me, because I'm either playing devil's advocate or I'm able to express myself, or I'm trying to like coach answers out of them. Because yeah, whenever they're a very tightly knit group, so they can debate about many things in Spanish, but that's obviously not what we're looking for. So yeah, and today I thought, okay, we'll do a debate that's something to do with the past tense. Ideally, or it can be anything random. The one rule that we got was no politics. I did in fact break this rule once because a particularly shy student just said randomly, Gibraltar is ours. So I spent my time playing devil's advocate for that. We weren't like attacking each other or anything. Like, as a British person, I'm sure that's a very hot button issue to discuss with me specifically, because the other ones were in agreement. So I tried to involve everyone and tried to play, like I said, devil's advocate, and see what they were able to do. Then when the teacher found out, he said to me, you're older, smarter, wiser. You can shut them down. I was like, yeah, okay, but also it was that was the first time that particular student really spoke up about much. So I at least wanted to indulge at least once. So, sometimes I'm a bit rebellious. Sometimes I bend the rules a little bit. And like I said, we weren't attacking each other or anything. I can see from both perspectives in this particular instance. So I just decided to lean against the other. It's kind of like what I did in Spanish A level, and a little bit in GCSE, because they like to try to get you to give opinions about stuff, and usually my problem with the way that they handle that is that they get you to talk about things like pollution, or or I guess like traditions, or immigration or stuff like that. And sometimes you have to tell people what those things actually are first of all, and then what specific cultural thing or specific hot button issue they're actually dealing with, which is already an issue. But B, you have the issue of people aren't too interested in that, but because that's something that I guess on some level affects or will affect everyone. That's why they picked that for those fixed exams. I found that when you let them pick a topic, that's where it gets interesting. Onions or no onions on tortilla. Every Spanish person has an opinion on that. It's like their version of Marmite, basically. Or I don't know, which local nightclub is better and why. Stuff like that. Or in the case of the English classes, a lot of the time, the reason that they like me so much, I think, is because I said before, the fact that I'm a very internet-heavy person, and that's a lot of what they're invested in. Just telling, younger generations that you have a YouTube channel already gets you somewhere with them. I'm not sure how long that will last, depending on the rise/fall of TikTok. That's obviously something that we won't know until happens. But for now, that's definitely the case. That's why remember when I was when I happened to be filming Walking Wednesday, and there was and there was a roster of children who were coming out of school at the time by coincidence, and then they saw me with a camera, and they were like hello, hi, it's me, and that kind of thing. And one of them actually subscribed as well. That's the kind of enthusiasm. That's why there are so many so many kid YouTube channels. I mean, yeah, of course, the whole thing about kids having free time, that's obviously part of it. But yeah, you also consider that that a lot of the stuff that do of internet things interest them specifically. I remember that MatPat mentioned that YouTube has become a lot about adulting, as he called it, adulting, which is just a lot of plenty of how-to things of like, you know, tasks, you know, to do with like either fixing things or, I don't know, like financial advice, stuff like that. And yeah, that is a huge part of it. It's not the niche that I know about, so of course that's why I have a predominantly younger audience. Just because, yeah, you know, as I have gotten older, my main demographic has stayed roughly the same, which is fine. I don't mind that. I do know that sometimes for certain people that eventually gets to a point where that's a problem branding wise, but I think I'm okay for the time being. Give it another 10 years, see how I feel. Maybe 5. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, whenever you find something that's of interest to people, they're more engaged. I also kind of found that with or I tried to find that when I was helping Monet with her with some like questions that she was coming up with for her class. I tried to find a way to, you know, make that engaging and interesting for them. And that one time that I actually like made a song for them, which was a Spanish parody actually, but that's one song that I haven't shown to the class yet. Although maybe I should, because it will be a good example of how to use the future tense, which I think, because of how the grammar stuff works for them, is going to be a good thing to bring up. But yeah, I don't really know. You know, boring work talk done, I think. And I say that, but yeah, like when I mentioned this on stream and how it seemed to, I think it was the editing stream. And yeah, we talk about anything on those. That's kind of the point. But at the same time, I do worry that, you know, as soon as you know, we start mentioning, you know, things like our jobs, or you know, like specific you know, adult stuff, or like random minor small talk, that it's not going to be as interesting to people. So so that's why I tend to that's why I tend to like either gloss over that stuff or just almost avoid that on camera. Especially in Gacha review. In Gacha review, you want to, like, yes, we have a lot of tangents and random topics, but that's usually that's usually something to do with the video, where it kind of like randomly connects. Because Aiden at times will just be like, "Oh yeah, how is you know, how's work been?" Or, you know, and I'm like, "Really? You want to talk about that now?" So, but then people said that, you know, that is interesting to them. I think someone on live chat, I think it might have been Bon or someone, who just said that it's interesting because it's me, which again I'm honoured by. So that's why I think, you know, I can lean into that a bit more. And it's not like I'm ever going to run out of stories either. I don't think, because honestly, every day brings something new. Whether it's a Taylor Swift parody about lobotomies, or it's always discovering that you can relate to somebody talking about like open-ended stories and the pros and cons of them, or just randomly debating about Star Wars and/or who Gibraltar should rightfully go to. You never know what you're gonna get, I suppose. So maybe it's more interesting than I give it credit for. I mean, I should hope it is, because otherwise I wouldn't have picked it. But I mean, to the general public is what I mean. That being said, I need to make sure that I can get my shopping done. And now it's starting to rain again, so got my coat on. And make sure I actually upload this on the proper day this time. I don't end up forgetting. We've done D&D, so I think that's not gonna make that same mistake again. So yeah, time to do that, and then after that, back to school. I've got that one afternoon session, or two. So yeah, for now, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. And subscribe to us already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.